Chill and mask. Now mask, M-A-S-C, is short for masculine. Chill and mask is what it says in my Grindr profile. I am neither of those things. I am a high-strung faggot is what I am. I am the least chill person I have ever met in my entire life. But you know, when someone shows up to the door, I will Viola Davis my way into making sure you think I am. I have sup-rode my way into many, many conquests. I live in a Dominican neighborhood, so when these guys come over and show me what they're working with, sometimes I look at them and I'm like, I am 5'4", I have to stand on a stool at the bank. What am I supposed to do with this? You can be an otter, which is just like a live, mildly hairy person. You can be a bear, which is a not live, overly hairy person. Well, what would you categorize yourself as? I don't know, I'm a pug. I have no idea. What is this? I'm like half pug, half porcupine. Is that something? What I don't like to do is when I show up at someone's house and I said I got gifts for the kids, and they say, oh, we're going to tell them that Santa left this at your house. Well, I'm not doing that at all. Uncle Dom does not lie to the nieces and nephews. No. You want to raise an idiot, that's fine. Uncle Dom worked for this gift. Uncle Dom went to a fucking toy store in December and bought this gift by hand. Uncle Dom's the one that gave this gift. I'm not going to tell my niece that some drunk elderly man running an elven sweatshop in the Arctic and takes credit for all of their work one day a year gave this gift. Also, it makes no sense. How is your daughter going to think that somehow Santa accidentally but with precision dropped this gift off at the chimneyless Bronx apartment of some gay guy you went to college with? Don't let her even think that's possible. I had a colonoscopy this year. And I showed up first thing in the morning. I had the first appointment. I don't know what the look was on my face, but the doctor came up to me, put his hand on my shoulder, which is normally a no-no, but he was hot, so consent is implied. He comes up to me, puts his hand on my shoulder, he said, it's going to be okay. And I said, what's going to be okay? He goes, you look a little bit nervous, like you're going to be under when that goes in you and you're going to be fine. I was like, oh, I'm nervous about being late for work. I'm not nervous about this procedure. This is a 52-year-old homosexual asshole, doctor. You think I'm afraid of that? Girl, please. Doctor, how dare you insult me like this? How dare you? I'm nervous for you and what you're going to find in there, doctor. Take pictures. We'll share a TikTok. Let's do class rings, chicken bones, a 92 Honda Accord. Who knows? What is the anesthesia that's being used? And he said, propofol. The glamour. You're only awake and consciously on propofol for 2 seconds before you pass out. Those 2 seconds were the best 2 seconds I had since I came out of the closet in 1996. In those 2 seconds, I solved world peace. I was a model. I had closure with all of my exes. It was fabulous. Fabulous. If the propofol had gone on for 4 seconds, none of us would be here because I'd be in the street looking for propofol. It was the sensation of cracking a million creme brulees at the same time. Oh my God. And then I woke up and it was over, and the good news was everything was fine. He said, you don't need another one for another 10 years. And I said, you know what? I'm going to go ahead and do this annually just in case. The number of babies being born with syphilis has skyrocketed. Syphilis. Those babies are whores. No, those babies... all of them, just Ginger. Ginger's the whore. What in the pirate pussy are we still doing with syphilis in 2023? I thought the only way to get syphilis was to like rub doubloons on your dick. Syphilis? How does that call go, hi, Denise, we're going to have to cancel Mommy and Me today. One of the kids is sick. Oh, does Lisa's son have COVID again? No, Kendall has syphilis. Well, she's 1 month old. How did that happen? Well, Kendall's a whore and she hung out with Ginger. I don't know what to tell you. Group text is also, most importantly, a place where you can be the horrible individual that you know you are in front of your friends. That's what it's for. Something happened, I think it started during COVID, but it definitely peaked in 2024. Someone in every group text started getting a little sensitive about the material that was happening in the group text. Guys, I don't think we should be joking about this today. Well. So most of us know what happened when that person turned. The splinter cells started. The splinter cell is a group text that includes everyone in your group text, except for that one motherfucker who's not taking the joke very well these days. Now, if you're sitting there saying my group text doesn't have a splinter cell, I have news. Yeah. It does, and you gave birth to it, actually. It's about you. And if you think I'm wrong, try it out later or this weekend and just say, guys, I really don't think we should be joking about this. And then notice that for 8 solid minutes, no one's typing anything. And you're not even getting the bubble that someone is typing. They're typing, though. Nicole Kidman was married to the face of Scientology and is alive with us still today, okay? Nicole Kidman is not afraid of Scientology. Scientology is afraid of Nicole Kidman, okay? No matter what project she's working on. She has 3 things written into her contract that must happen. At the beginning of the 3rd act of the story, her character must find out something startling about her husband. That's the first thing, okay? That's number 1. Number 2, when she finds out this startling fact, it must be under the hot white lights of a police interrogation room, okay? Why? Because only one human being looks good under those lights. Nicole Louise Kidman, all right? And she just wants to drive that home every time. The 3rd thing that absolutely non-negotiably must happen in this moment is that Nicole Kidman must say the following line in everything she does. Mama? Chilling, wasn't it? Like she was in the room with us. The costume I decide on is Xena Warrior Princess. 397 lesbians losing their fucking minds. Women across the yard going, I'm like, what are you doing? I didn't watch the show. I just went to Google. I don't know who she is. It was just a costume. And then we meet Gloria. Sweet, sweet Gloria. Gloria's dressed as the Hamburglar, okay? She is shaking, she's crying at intermittent points. Then she starts going, when I was 8 years old was when I watched Xena for the first time, and I really felt myself blossoming then. I was like, Gloria, let's hold those horses right now. Like, I cannot be at a Halloween party having a conversation about your sexual awakening at 8. Like, it feels uncomfortable. She wraps her arms around me and says, I just want to ask you one favor. I said, I will do anything to end this. What is it? She goes, just please take a photo with me. I'm like, Gloria, I love you. I would have done this 15 minutes ago, of course. And she grips me tighter, and I said, Gloria, I have a favor to ask you now as well. And I said, Gloria, I have never said this to a person in my entire life, but I am going to ask you to take your finger out of my asshole right now.